In the village of Uzoma, where the earth was red and the sun a relentless, golden coin, lived Nkem and Chidi. They were young when they married, their love a fierce, tender shoot in hard soil. Chidi was a carpenter with clever hands, Nkem, a potter whose vessels held the whispers of ancestors. For years, they worked. Chidi's strong back built chairs and doors for others, while Nkem's hands coaxed beauty from clay, selling her wares at the dusty market. Yet, no matter how they toiled, prosperity was a bird that would not alight on their roof. Their meals were meager, their clothes patched, and the laughter in their mud brick home grew thin. But in the quiet evenings, they would sit together, and Chidi would hold Nkem's hands, careless from work, and say, "The rain does not fall forever, my heart. Our season of green will come." The struggle stretched like a long, dry road. They watched as neighbors built bigger huts, bought motorcycles, and celebrated feasts. A quiet desperation began to gnaw at Chidi's pride. He started spending evenings at the palm wine hut, listening to tales of distant lands where streets were paved with opportunity. It was there he met Amara, a tailor who had visited the city. She spoke of Europe, of a country called Germany, where work paid in silver and life sparkled like a new blade. Her words were slick and sweet, a balm to his frustration. She laughed at his jokes, admired his ambitions, and slowly, like a vine seeking light, she wrapped her presence around his discontent. Nkem, sensing a shadow in his eyes, asked him if the wind had changed direction. He kissed her forehead. "I am only thinking of better winds for us," he lied. Then, a miracle. Nkem's largest, most exquisite pot, a piece she had labored over for months, was seen by a merchant from the capital. He bought it, and then commissioned more. Suddenly, her name was sought after. Orders flowed in. With the first real money they had ever known, Chidi's carpentry workshop also thrived, fueled by her success. They bought a small plot of land. The bird of prosperity had finally landed, singing a sweet song. And in the same week of this joyful turn, Nkem discovered another blessing: she was with child. Tears of joy washed their faces. "See," Chidi beamed, holding her, "our season of green is here. It brings double fruit, wealth and an heir." They named the unborn child Uchenna, God's will. But the new wealth also fed the secret seed in Chidi's heart. Amora's whispers grew more urgent. "This is just a taste, Chidi," she'd say. "In Germany, you wouldn't be a village carpenter, but a craftsman in a mansion. This money is nothing. We could leave before the baby ties you down." She painted pictures of a life where he was not just comfortable, but revered. The more Nkem's belly swelled with life, the more Chidi felt a strange, claustrophobic panic. The responsibility of a family, which he had once longed for, now felt like chains. He began to see Nkem's radiant, maternal joy as simple, village contentment. He started to resent the future he had prayed for. One evening, Chidi told Nkem he had secured a major contract in the next city and would be away for a week to purchase superior wood. He packed a single bag. Nkem, her hands resting on her rounded belly, packed him food for the journey, spiced meat and wrapped fufu. "Travel safely, husband. Return to us swiftly," she said, placing a protective charm in his bag, a small leather pouch of herbs. He hugged her, avoiding her eyes, feeling the press of their child between them. His heart was a drum of guilt and desperate ambition. He did not go to the next city. He and Amara traveled to the capital, where with their pooled savings and Nkem's money he had secretly taken, they boarded a flight to Germany. He turned off his phone as the plane ascended into the clouds. A week passed, then two. Nkem's calls went unanswered. The village was abuzz with whispers. A traveling trader finally brought the truth: he had seen Chidi with Amara at the airport. The news struck Nkem like a physical blow. She dropped the beautiful water calabash she was carrying. It shattered on the red earth, its contents soaking into the ground, lost. She did not scream. She sat amidst the shards, her hands on her belly, feeling her child kick as if in protest. The village elders cursed Chidi's name. Her family wept for her. But Nkem's tears dried up, replaced by a steely, cold clarity. "He has not just left me," she said to her mother, her voice quiet as storm. "He has left a part of himself. That is his curse to carry." Nkem did not wither. The orders for her pottery did not stop, her talent was hers alone. She worked through her pain, her belly growing as her hands shaped clay. She moved in with her wise old aunt, who told her stories of resilient women from their line. A tree does not stop growing because a bird abandons its nest, her aunt would say. Nkem gave birth to a strong, beautiful son. She named him Ugochukwu, God's eagle. She vowed he would soar. With every pot she fired, she poured her love, her focus, and her resilience. Her business grew beyond the village, her story inspiring other women. Her love for her son was a deep, roaring river that drowned the memory of Chidi's deserting loyalty. In Germany, Chidi's dream tarnished quickly. The language was a war, his qualifications unrecognized. He cleaned offices and washed dishes, jobs far beneath his skill. Amora's sweetness soured into constant nagging about money and status they could not achieve. They lived in a cramped apartment, their relationship a cold transaction of shared misery. The German winter seeped into his bones, a cold he had never imagined. In rare quiet moments, he would see a child playing in a park and feel a physical ache, remembering Nkem's swelling belly. Guilt became his constant companion, and the image of the protective charm she placed in his bag haunted him. He was free, but caged in regret. Years passed. Nkem's reputation as a master potter and a resilient woman spread. She built a proper house, sent Ugochukwu to the best school. Her son, curious and bright, often asked about his father. She would say, "He is a man who chose a different path. Our path is here, and it is blessed." One day, a European cultural anthropologist visited Uzoma, specifically to meet Nkem. He was German. As he interviewed her about her art, her story, told without bitterness, but with firm truth, emerged. The German man was moved and ashamed. "I know the country can be very cold," he said softly. The anthropologist returned to Germany. By chance, he met Chidi, now a broken, middle-aged man working as a night cleaner in a museum. Seeing a fellow Nigerian, he shared the inspiring story of a great potter from Uzoma named Nkem. Chidi's blood ran cold. Hearing of her success and her remarkable son, the full weight of his betrayal collapsed upon him. He gathered his courage and, using the anthropologist's help, sent a letter to Uzoma, full of apologies, excuses, and pleas for forgiveness. He wanted to return, to see his son, to make amends. Nkem received the letter. She read it calmly, then took it to the fire where she baked her pots. She watched the paper blacken and curl into ash, its words lost to the heat that made her creation strong. She called Ugochukwu, now a tall, confident boy. The rain that abandoned the field during planting, she told him, does not get to name the harvest. She never replied. Chidi remained in his golden cage, forever haunted by the prosperity and love he had fled, while Nkem, rooted in the red earth of her ancestors, flourished, a testament that the strongest vessels are fired in the hottest flames, and cannot be broken by the weakness of another.